At this time, and ask Director Sanders to do the introduction.
Thank you. Let us pray. Lord, thank you for this opportunity to serve on this board. Please be with our employees and administration and help them as they help the citizens that we provide this service to. Please be with our community and bless it. And do a special prayer for our military as we're involved in this conflict. In Jesus' name.
At this time, I'd like to ask Mr. Porter if he's our parliamentarian, and ask Mr. Payton to take the minutes of today's meeting. And we'll call the roll now. Director Hatton?
Here.
Director Tyson? No. Director Wiedmeyer?
Here.
Director Brumlow?
Here.
Good. Director Morris?
Here.
And Director Sanders?
Here.
Have a motion for approval of the agenda.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda
Okay.
and move item number 6 to follow item number 9.
Okay.
This is a legal matter that needs to be discussed further in the executive session. And we'll come back after the executive session and vote on this.
Okay, the motion is to move item number 6 to follow item number 9. Every time we'll vote on item 6.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Call for a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed,
Aye.
no.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
I make the motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed,
Aye.
no. Item 2. Request board to approve a TIPS, that's an interlocal purchasing system, cooperative purchasing contract. Wait a minute, missing one. Forgive me. Request board to approve minutes of the regular meeting held in March 20, 2026. Have a motion for that.
So moved. Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, no.
Abstain.
Okay, now item number 2, request the board to approve a TIPS interlocal purchasing system cooperative purchasing contract with Hydromax effective April 10, 26 through April 9, 27 to provide asset management services for Central Alabama Water and to authorize the chief executive officer to execute the agreement. And this is an item that is exempt from competitive bidding because it is purchased from TIPS.
I make a motion to approve.
A second.
Sorry.
Any discussion? Call for a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed, no.
Abstain.
Item number 3, request board to approve a 5-year agreement with Enterprise Fleet Management to manage the fleet of vehicles associated with Central Alabama Water effective April 10, 26 at an out-of-pocket cost of $35,000 and to authorize the chief executive officer to execute the agreement. This service is also exempt from bidding because it is a source well contract. Motion or any comment?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have a presentation that we'd like to present from Enterprise on this item.
Motion to approve.
Second. Any discussion?
Mr. Council,
Certainly, at this time, I'd like to call Enterprise up to give a very brief presentation, PowerPoint presentation on this. We are hoping to achieve significant savings for the utility with this item and the maintenance of our fleet.
Chairman, Board, David Walker, Chief Administrative Officer. I'd like to introduce Annabelle and Park and Grant Powell, sorry, with Enterprise Fleet Management.
Good morning, my name is Annabelle Park. This is Grant Powell. We work with Enterprise Fleet Management. We're here today because we've been meeting with the executive board with Central Alabama Water, Mr. David. What we want to do is help reduce costs and improve efficiencies in those fleets. We're going to talk a little bit today about some ways that we're helping other cities and counties in Alabama do that. Can you hear better now? Okay, thank you. Oh, sorry, next slide. So like I mentioned before, we are the #1 awarded Sourcewell contract for fleet management. What this means is that the due diligence as far as pricing is already completed. I'd also like to include that most people only really think of Sourcewell as purchasing, but our RFP with Sourcewell is all inclusive, so it's not just purchasing, it's also maintenance, fuel, telematics, and resale of the vehicle, so it's all inclusive. Next slide, please. Awesome. Here are some references of some cities, counties, and a couple commercial clients that we currently work with. We show you this just because none of these cities and counties are exactly the same. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach. What we really want to do is work collaboratively with you as an extension of your business, as a partner, really, to make the best recommendations for your company. Okay. This is a kind of a big picture snapshot of what we do. So it is all-inclusive fleet management. We can help with everything from acquisition to helping reduce costs and improve efficiencies through the life cycle of the vehicle, and then ultimately with the resale of the vehicle to really just, like I said, reduce costs, improve efficiencies, and relieve administrative burden. We want to streamline your processes and help you be as efficient as possible.
All right, so I'll kind of take this and we'll again move this up. So yeah, this is kind of our whole philosophy of how we operate for our clients and helping to actually improve their fleet operations. It's helping them control the 3 biggest costs in any fleet operations. That's the depreciation, the fuel, and the maintenance costs. How do we figure out an optimal time to replace vehicles, not run them to fail, not have catastrophic maintenance failures and expenses that are going to hit you guys, and obviously capitalize on the equity that we would basically see on the back end of reselling these vehicles, not just through gut deals. I know I spoke to a couple of board members about Moody and how we have our marketing department. That's all just a benefit to you guys at the end of the day, that we plug you into these resources of how we actually operate our fleet of vehicles as well.
So this is a very conceptual, high-level analysis of what we, and recommendation of what we would want to do. This is the type of analysis that we show most of our government clients. What we did here is we took the light-duty fleet, so in total you'll have over 354 vehicles, including the large heavy-duty vehicles. We excluded those from this type of analysis just because we don't know exactly what type of aftermarket equipment is added onto those, as well as they're not going to have the same type of life cycle that a light-duty vehicle we want to have on those. So we analyzed 254 vehicles. They're on a current cycle right now of about almost 13 years. Currently, we use industry average for this model and estimate about $176 per vehicle in maintenance. Since we presented this yesterday to the chiefs, we have received some raw data of what y'all are actually spending in maintenance, and we were very conservative here, and it's actually a lot more than $176 per vehicle. Annually, y'all are doing about 9,600 miles, and we estimate about 13 miles per gallon, and price per gallon at about $3. We know that's not what it is currently, but over the lifetime of vehicles. And then Our proposed fleet, we identified at least one vehicle that was being underutilized. Since having conversations with chiefs, we know now there's probably a lot more that are underutilized. Proposed cycle on a 5-year cycle and maintenance at a fixed monthly rate of $81.10. So right now, what y'all are doing, fleet size around 254, annually buying about 20 vehicles. You own all 254 of them, purchasing those vehicles on state with us for about $776,000. When you're selling those vehicles, not really getting a lot back for them, around $20,000 back. Maintenance spend, again, this is based off the 176 per vehicle. We estimated with industry average about 535, 100,000, and then fleet budget all in, including maintenance, fuel, and purchasing the vehicles at $1.8 million. So what we want to do is essentially cut that number in half. So our proposed year one is go ahead and replace anything over 10 years or older or 100,000 miles or more. That would be 105 vehicles that we identified. You would still own 148 of these vehicles, and the 105 would go on an open-ended equity lease. I know the word lease sometimes can make the hair stand up on the back of people's necks. However, our open-ended equity lease, you still own full rights of ownership to these vehicles. We just hold title so that we can buy and sell them for you easier. But you still maintain all rights of ownership to the vehicle. So then the lease payment, that's $85,000, and then we would go and sell those 105 vehicles for a return of $500,000. I can see the numbers in this far. And then maintenance, we would put those 105 vehicles on that fixed $81 per month maintenance plan, and it would make the maintenance budget drop down to $414,000. Fuel, newer vehicles are going to get better gas mileage, so it would drop the fuel down to $516,000, and then all in fleet budget at 1.3. I think it is.
It's hard to see, though you did it 100%.
Okay.
Basically what Annabelle was saying, I apologize. Basically what Annabelle was saying was we presented this basically to the chiefs yesterday, and then since then we've gotten raw data from you guys of what y'all are actually spending on maintenance, labor, and fuel as well, and it's north of $4.5 million in those 3 areas. That is excluding acquisition of vehicles, right? This is the gross spend. That is astronomically more than what we are conservatively saying in this model of what you guys are spending on maintenance. And just based off this model, including acquisition, including maintenance, including fuel, even with us being extremely conservative, it's half the cost of what you're even spending without buying new vehicles, right? And so that's really the big opportunity that we're looking at for you guys, is outsourcing the resources of all your maintenance, which is basically going to plug money back into the community, which is what a lot of people like the city of Vestavia have done and great returns from it. And then overall, we'll kind of knock your line by line on this. After the 10-year savings on this, it's right at $2.9 million, and that's not even with the accurate data that we just received last night. The only reason we did not put that together, we did not want to show y'all something inaccurate, but as you can tell, $4.5 million, that is a large expenditure, and it is not even close to what we were conservatively saying based off third-party industry data.
Any questions?
Thank you very much.
There's any comments or perspectives?
Yeah, I think, as was said, our expense in the area of fleet has been extremely high. It was $4.5 million last year, not including the purchase of any vehicles. This will cut that cost radically, more than half. So that's why we want to do this, to save the utility money and save our customers money.
From my perspective, when you looking to outsource a function, you're doing it to where the expertise is. And these people are in the market. They know where the sweet spot for salvage value on vehicles are. And I think all of us can understand, you keep a vehicle for 13 years, your maintenance costs are going to be astronomical in the later years. So they're looking for that sweet spot of when to replace a vehicle. And that ultimately is going to benefit the ratepayers. So I think this is a good business practice and a good move.
Any other questions?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
I've got a couple of questions. I clearly understand everything that's been presented. I've got one concern is when you turn around and sell the vehicles at the end, do you get a percentage of that sale?
Absolutely not. So what we do is we have a $500 service charge, which is on the quote, right when you purchase the vehicle. That is literally the paperwork of us handling all the title and registration and actually reselling the vehicle, which is great for you guys because now there's no exposure on your end. And then basically the equity that we get from reselling the vehicle is going to be rolled into the new vehicle that we've already purchased and ordered directly from the factory.
So there's an upcharge of $500 bottom line.
It's out of the sales price. If we go out and sell a vehicle for $10,000, y'all are going to get $9,500 worth of equity. It's never like, hey, you have to write us a check for $500.
I got you. So now, I see the contract is for 5 years. I've seen some organizations who have large fleets, have their own fleet department. Mr. Chairman, if we look at anything like that long-term, not tomorrow, because we can't afford it today. Have we looked at that down the road?
To have our own fleet department, we recently did have our own fleet department, and that's where our expenses had ballooned to unsustainable levels. So we no longer have a fleet department, and we're looking to have experts focus on this area.
So was there any reason it ballooned and cost us so much? Did we set it out?
It happened over the course of time. We just looked at the costs for last year, which were so significant, they just couldn't be justified.
I'd like to suggest that we approve the item, but for a 3-year term. Maybe it would get us out of some of the debt that we're in, and by that time, there may be other options that are available.
I can answer this question if you would like a little bit. So the 5-year contract term, it's no contract with Enterprise. Obviously, we are going to be signing master lease agreements, and there's a few other things for us to be able to legally do business with you. The only thing that you guys are legally obligated to do is that if you do sign a lease quote, is that you do have to pay the lease payment. That is the only thing that you're in. We're not handcuffing you in to say like for 5 years you guys have to use Enterprise Fleet Management. At the end of 2 years, if the partnership's not working out, or if you guys would like to explore other options, that is completely, it's completely up to you guys.
Does it say that in the contract?
Yeah, basically there's nowhere in the contract that says you have to do business with us. Yeah, and I would say the reason why it's a 5-year term is based off your annual mileage. That is what we were basically saying we need. That's the sweet spot of where we're going to sell the vehicles. That's why it's a 5-year contract lease term.
Okay, so when I see 5-year contract, I think that means 5-year contract. That's what I think.
Yeah, so I mean, it's an agreement to pay a lease term for 60 months. At the end of 3 years, if you're equitable in a vehicle and you want to get out of it, it's 100% up to you. But it's our job to meet with you every single year and also manage the market, look what's going on in there. And then if the vehicles work more, we can either hold on to it or sell it. But at the end of the day, like she said, the vehicles are yours. It can be held for 6 years, it can be held for 3 years, and we just present you guys with financial analysis up to the
Thank you,
chiefs
sir.
of the board. So.
Any other questions? I'll call for a vote. All in favor of approving the contract with Enterprise, say aye.
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 Opposed, say no.
I abstain.
Okay. Item number 4, request board to approve a 12-month agreement with Dana Lewis as a consultant for SAP support effective April 10, 2026 through April 30, 2027, with no out-of-pocket commitment and a 30-day cancellation for convenience clause, and to authorize the chief executive officer to execute the agreement. Central Alabama Water would only pay for the hours used and remain within the SAP monthly consultant budget of $52,000 or $628,000 annually. That is dedicated to keep the SAP platform and interconnecting systems operational. This is also exempt, in course of the 2025 Code of Alabama 401651 number 3.
Make a motion to approve.
Second. Okay, any discussion?
Mr. Thompson, can you give us some background? Certainly. So we currently had two companies working on this. By engaging this new company, we anticipate being able to save at least $20,000 a month. As we transition away from our current ERP to best in breed products for data management, this is something that we have to continue as long as SAP is in place. But our Chief Technology Officer, Cameron Holly, can answer any technical questions if there are any.
Any other questions? Okay, call for a vote. All in favor of item 4, say aye.
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 Opposed, say no.
Abstain.
Okay. Number 5, request board to award bid to Bermex Incorporated for estimated quantities of underground locating services effective July 1, 2026 through June 30, 2027, at an annual estimated out-of-pocket cost to the board of $1,735,000, and authorize the chief executive officer to execute the agreement. Have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Okay, any questions?
Mr. Thompson, did we talk to 811?
Yes, we have. They're fine with us switching from USIC to Bermex. Bermex has experience working with 811, and their software that they use is fully compatible.
So the cost is comparable to 811 with this group?
Yes, 811 is the major provider that all of the different utilities have to be.
Mandated by the state of Alabama.
Mandated by the state of Alabama that we all have to participate in. But the provider of the location service and damage protection for us used to be USIC, and now will be Bermex.
So, Mr. Thompson, what do you perceive benefit from using Bermex? So the primary benefit, and Mr. Sloan can expound upon it if necessary, is that we've incurred a lot of damage costs associated with our current contractor. We are under the impression that this new contractor will result in about $500,000 to $750,000 per year savings in some of those damages.
Yes, that's correct. The damage rate with Bermex nationwide is 1 in 18,000 locates, and our current vendor is about 1 in 350. Also, the contract terms are far superior in this one. There is no annual at-fault damage cap. There's a $7,500 per item, and our current contract is $10,000 annual max. So substantially better contract terms.
Any other questions? I'll call for vote. All in favor of approving item number 5, say aye.
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 Opposed, no.
Abstain.
Okay, item 6 is removed to after the executive session. Number 7.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
before we go to number 7, I just want to make a comment and really commend the staff for all those items we just approved, for their efforts in seeking cost savings. And really, better business practices for the organization. So I want to commend the staff on that and encourage them to keep striving to achieve these kinds of results.
Mr. Chairman?
I think we all agree with that.
Yes. Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Let me clear the air on something. Won't take 30 seconds. We don't have workshops, work sessions anymore. So I don't know what's going on. That's why I'm asking the questions. If there were workshops where we could have and people would come and bring it to us and discuss it with us, I wouldn't have these questions. But since we don't have workshops, I'm going to ask the questions in here from now on until we decide to have workshops. Okay? I just want my point to be clear. I'm not for it. I'm not against it. I don't know what it is. I've never heard it before. Somebody's heard it before other than me and Sheila. So I'm not going to vote for anything that I have not sat down and had some kind of discussion with somebody before the event occurs. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
And we don't have any backup paperwork on any of these items. We have bare minimum backup paperwork. So we don't know whether it's a proven fact that they can save money. None of that. We just grabbing things out the sky, put it on here, and me and Jobs are the only one that I guess don't receive the paperwork.
It's all in the diligence.
No, it's not. Not in
Let me
my.
say this, I don't know that you've been excluded from anything any of the other board members have received.
Well, I
haven't
feel like
received
I
any
feel like
backup paperwork myself.
I feel like I have been excluded and I have proof because I don't have the paperwork.
Well, it's in our due diligence notebook, and I know, I'll look it up on when y'all send it out. I've called you several times. If you like Ray, I'll call Ray, hey, tell me what this means, and I always got an answer, so. It's not like we did it before, but at least you can get an answer when you pull it up on the particular issue.
But you can tell me one thing, but I can read, I want to see it for myself and get my own understanding. That's what I want to do. I want to get my own understanding because you might look at it one way and I look at it another. Give it to me in writing, give me that opportunity to make my own decision and not exclude me from the paperwork and the meetings that you have.
Mr. Chairman, one other point. I have said here week after week and listened to the discussions. There's a certain person, Ray, and the man next to him give outstanding presentations, and the one next to him. I mean, you do your job, you're efficient at what you do, you're very professional. My concern is I need more information. I got some information last night. Maybe you all have more time on your hands than I do. And I play golf 3 days a week, so I don't know how you find all the information and I don't. That's what I'm saying, but the three of you have been outstanding. I'm very pleased with your responses, okay? For the record.
Well, let's move on. Item number 7, request board to approve R. Shan Payton, interim secretary of the corporation.
So move.
Second.
Any questions? Call for a vote. All in favor of item number 7? Aye.
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 Opposed? No. Unanimous. Number 8, request board to set meeting location, dates, and times for the meetings to be held on the following dates. May 8th, 2026, June 8th, or June 12th, 2026, July 6th, or 10th, 2026, or August 10th, or 14th, 2026. Have a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
would you like to handle the individually or make a motion for specific, for all of them at one time?
I would like an individual because on May 8th, I can't do
These these are not set in stone, this is just open. We are taking, information from each board member to try and determine the best time for each, for the forthcoming meetings. And all that information will be shared with everyone, and it'll, the best solution for the date and time will be established.
So, Mr. Chairman, I will make a motion to approve item 8 as on item A on May 8th at 9 a.m.,
Okay?
on June 8th at 9 a.m., on July 10th at 9 a.m., and on August 10th at 9 a.m.
I'll second.
I have a question.
Okay. Any discussion?
Yes. I can't make May 8th, and I would like it to be moved to where I can come, because I work for it. I have a job,
You have an alternative.
yes.
What's your
And,
offer?
instead of May 8th, can we have it on the 15th?
When?
The 15th of May. That'll give me a chance to redo my calendar.
I'm not available that day.
The 22nd.
27 is good, is not good for me.
29th, or either May 1st.
Okay.
29th is that's a holiday, is that a holiday weekend? No,
No,
that's previous.
I would point out that May 29th is a considerable, time duration from now.
What about May 1st?
I'm not available on the first.
Not either.
And none during the week, 12, 13, 14.
You say May 4th would work?
Does it have to be, Sheila, does it have to be on a Friday?
It don't have to,
Monday?
it don't have to be on Friday, it can be on Monday.
About the 11th.
I'm not here. That's okay. I won't be here on the 11th. Someone else could take over, but I won't be here on the 11th.
Is there something mystical about Mondays and Fridays? More Fridays than Mondays? Is there something magical about those 2 days? I mean, because, I don't work anymore. But Fridays, and I think I've said this before, Fridays are like down days. You come in late, you get you some breakfast, you go have your meeting, you get an early lunch, you go to the Alabama football game that weekend, so you go down on the Friday, you go to the beach on the Thursday night. So what's so special about Mondays and Fridays? What happened to Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays? I started on a Tuesday morning. It's depending on what's going on.
On which Tuesday I have commission meeting.
About the 12th.
I can't do the 12th. Wait, what'd you say, May?
May 12th?
Yeah, I have to.
I won't be here that entire week.
That's what those issues.
We can have someone else do the meeting. Yes, we could.
Okay, so I will modify my motion, and instead of on item A, May 8th, I will propose May 12th as at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
And I'm okay with the second.
Now, Mr. Chairman, let me ask one more question. Do we plan on having any work sessions between May 12th and August 10th or 14th.
At this point in time, we do not have one scheduled, but we will look into scheduling one for that time. How about that?
Well, I don't guess I can do anything but accept it, so I'll accept it. Okay? I'm just saying there need to be work sessions.
We have a motion to, modify the original motion, to change the May, meeting to May the 12th at 9 a.m. Do I have a second? This is a second to amend the motion. I'm gonna call for a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed,
Aye.
no. That's amended. Now I'm gonna call for a vote on number 8, item B through D. That should be a top motion. All right, this is going, I'm calling for a vote now for item 8 in its entirety as modified, with respect to the May meeting being on the 12th.
So moved.
And,
Second.
second, okay. All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, no. Okay. Moving to item 9.
So just to clarify,
Okay.
item 8,
Item 8, to clarify,
As amended.
as amended, the amendment is to item A. May 8th has been moved to May 12th. June 8th at 9 a.m. And then July 10th, 9 a.m. And August 10th at 9 a.m. Those are the dates that have been approved for forthcoming meetings.
thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Now we're to item 9, and request board to enter executive session to discuss legal counsel matters, with legal counsel, legal matters that are appropriate under Alabama Code Section 3625A7A3.
My name is Shan Payton. I'm an attorney licensed to practice law in the state of Alabama. It's my opinion that you have the right to go into executive session to discuss pending litigation under Alabama Code Section 3625A-7A3. How long will we need for this executive session? Because you will be coming back into session to
Yes,
vote on another item. So how long do you need?
15 minutes,
No more than 30.
no more than 30, 15 to 30.
Let's just say 30 minutes and 15 to 30 minutes. Okay? All right.
Make a motion.
Roll call vote. Director Tyson?
I'm sorry. I'm paying attention.
Roll call.
Roll call vote going into executive session. Director Patton?
Aye.
Director Tyson? Director Weedmeyer?
Aye.
Director Brumlow?
Yes.
Director Morris? And Director Stanford?
Aye.
Okay. We'll see everyone in a few minutes. Thank everyone for waiting. We have one last item on our agenda, which is item number 6. Request board to retain the services of Patel and Howard PC attorneys at law in connection with pending litigation.
I'm moving to approve.
Second. Any discussion?
This one, I think it might be a good idea for you guys.
Okay, I'm going to call for a vote.
Request a roll call.
Roll call vote. Mr. Patton?
Aye.
Ms. Tyson? Mr. Wiedemeyer?
I abstain.
Director Brumlow?
Aye.
Director Morris at the lead, and Director Stanbridge.
Aye.
Okay. And I'm voting yes. So motion passes. And I have a motion to
Adjourn. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed,
Aye.
no. Yeah. Aye, okay. Okay, meeting's adjourned. Thank you very much.